And we are live.
That'll work. That'll work.
Is that all right? So we've got a helping hand. How are you, man?
Yeah, just fine, man. How are you doing?
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. So, I've been waiting to stream with you for ages. You've had a what's been the problem? Your computer was too shit or something? Or?
Oh yeah, I'm so happy. I just got rid of that piece of shit laptop. I've been working off of this ancient laptop that's been running Windows Vista, and then just it has everything wrong with it that it could possibly have. I mean, it blue screens constantly. Like there's a bunch of my original files that I still need to bring over from it, but other than that, I'm about ready to throw that thing in a lake. I just put together a fucking monster of a gaming PC that is dead silent, and it is just the best thing ever.
Nice one, and there's no cum like encrusted all the fucking keys together and shit.
Oh no, man. Nope. Got a nice guard for that, man.
And we've got FriendEd. Adam, how are you, mate?
Good. How are you doing?
Very good.
Hanging in there, surviving the YouTube, Google fiasco, ongoing rolling out fiasco.
Oh, mate, I'm just surviving. No, I'm not joking. I'm doing all right. I just looked at did you see what's his name, Mr. Repzion's video yesterday? He put out a video like showing how many of his videos had been fucking demonetized, and it was like 99% of them. It was ridiculous.
Really? Oh
yeah.
My god.
Yeah, I saw that. I haven't looked into it yet. I mean, a couple other people. I mean, Computing Forever is apparently saying something about it too. Like, yeah, apparently YouTube is starting their Orwellian bullshit again. So.
Yeah, it's pretty full on. But I just checked mine before we started streaming. I'm sort of like, there's a few gone, but I mean, most of them are still green. I don't know what it is. I mean, I started going pretty light on tags probably 5 or 6 months ago. I think that's had something to do with it. Like if you just don't sort of tag at all, like they tend to miss you. But I don't know. Yeah. It's just a guess.
I mean, with those little nuances, I mean, that being the case, if they're going to do some crap like this to me, they're choosing the right time, because there's still a lot of things that I'm learning. Like I'm still not entirely sure if I'm tagging my videos in the most efficient way, or, you know, honestly, I don't really even know how to check if this is affecting my any revenue that I'm getting from ads. And honestly, that wasn't even really stellar to begin with. I mean, you know, I'm getting a little bit of ad revenue right now, but I just don't have the influence just yet. So yeah, if there was any time they could do this to me and get away with it without me knowing about it, it would be right now.
Yeah. And what about you, Adam? Has it hit you hard? Or?
No, well, I never really made any money off of ad revenue anyway, so I just always went the Patreon route. The thing that I consider is, you know, what is the future? I mean, building any kind of business on an unstable platform is not a great idea.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I'm very, very impressed at the moment with what VidMe are doing. I really am. When they started to arc up again, you know, last week or a couple of weeks ago, I sort of thought, oh, well, I better put a bit of effort into VidMe. So I updated it all, and I'm sort of keeping right on it. And they've actually just launched a beta advertising monetization system. So I've just signed up for that.
On VidMe?
Yeah, on VidMe, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so, and it's looking really good. I noticed, I think it's just been today, unless I'm seeing things, you know, that they've sort of reformatted, and it's really streamlined, and it really looks good. But I've sort of been, you know, asking people to sort of subscribe to me over there as well, just in case I.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what I need to do too. I mean, especially on that most recent video that I did addressing, you know, YouTube's creators for change bullshit. Like a bunch of people in the comments were mentioning VidMe, and like everybody should move over to VidMe. I'm like, I've heard of it and I've been there before, but I never really seriously looked into it. I'm thinking that's what I need to do now.
Yeah, I think I'm up to 100 views on VidMe, so it's really gangbusters over there.
Right on.
Someone Phobos Media in the chat is saying, Bearing, if you tagged your videos on VidMe, you'd get way more views. Where do you tag them? Where do you fucking Where do you take
the thing on VidMe too that is a little frustrating is that they don't have the feature that I use a lot on YouTube is to watch the videos at 1.5 speed. So if you know anyone over there, I don't know if it's a tough thing to do or not, or if it's an easy thing to do, but I know a lot of people use that feature because you can watch more videos that way. I don't like it's not enough time in the day to watch all the stuff.
You wouldn't do it with like fucking Philip DeFranco because he's already.
Oh, I know. Philip
I wouldn't even
twice the speed. That's like.
I wouldn't even consider watching videos like that, man. That's like the beer bong approach to watching videos. Fuck that shit.
So many live streams though are very slow as it is. The people could talk considerably faster. I talk kind of slow as well, so I could see it being useful for people.
Well, it's exactly the opposite for me, man. You've watched my videos. Like I'm still having I'm probably doing better pacing myself these days than when I first started, but if you sped up my videos, I don't think most people will even be able to understand what the hell I'm saying.
Yeah. But the worst one is where you get like you're watching a stream, you get like say a really quick talker talking to a really slow one. Like you go 1.5, and like the quick one's too quick, and the slow one's like just right.
There needs to be a 1.75.
What if we get your slider? If we get your slider,
yeah, that's what I want. Exactly. That's exactly what I want. Hey, speaking of streaming, do you know there's a stream coming up this Saturday? Are you interested in Distributus versus Christy Winters? I know you've gone round and round with Christy Winters.
Oh, I have. Yeah. Where's that happening?
She is debating the Distributus, and the question is actually really good. I think I should pull it up. It's something feminist related. Do you watch Distributus videos? The guy is super smart, and
I don't think I do. I
really? Oh,
if you recommend him, I better go and subscribe to him
though. He's like, you could tell the guy has probably been in debate class since he was in the 4th grade or something.
Oh my god.
So it should be interesting. Hopefully it will be interesting. You remember the Sargon of Akkad Christy Winters debate from eons ago.
Yeah.
They were just talking past each other. It wasn't really as interesting. Hopefully this will be more interesting, and the question is a lot more interesting. Here, I'll see if I can find it for you.
Well, I've just subscribed, and I've just belled him. So
Saturday it's 10 a.m. my time, but you're always good at catching the streams. The streams end up popping up in your videos, Bearing, before I even get a chance to see the stream. I'm like, how did I miss this?
Yeah.
Only if they're talking about me. I'll just my earburns when they're talking about me. I'll go.
How do you do that? Do they tag you or what? I mean,
How
do you know that they're talking about you?
Oh, people contact me and go.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Talking about you.
There you go.
See, I've actually been keeping my ear to the ground, hoping that I can catch somebody talking about me, and I don't think anybody is just yet. I think that's when I know that I'll have actually made it, when I've pissed off somebody enough.
Can we please get some people talking about Helping Hand, some controversial shit about a Helping Hand?
I got someone talking about me on a live stream about veganism, which was kind of interesting. I feel you. You do kind of get that, oh, they're talking about me behind my back. And now I wonder,
without giving you shit.
Not really. The guy you actually did a video on him. His name's Jack Green. I think he was one of the first vegans that you did the video.
He likes to stir controversy, Jack.
Oh, really? You think so? He's been pretty nice to me. Maybe he's baiting me or something.
He's a nice bloke, but he's fucking what's that fucking main vegan cunt's name?
Vegan Gains? Yeah.
Yeah, he's Vegan Gains, like fucking like sort of like wingman. He's like a tack dog. So he will sort of go and pick fights and then go, hey, Vegan Gains, I've got this guy to debate. Let's go and debate him, sort of thing. And then they'll end up debating him.
I'm surprised Vegan Gains even needs a fucking attack dog. The guy's already pretty much frothing at the mouth as it is. Besides, we know he wouldn't feed an attack dog right anyway. So
yeah, I am supposed to do a debate with Ask Yourself, and Vegan Gains wanted to get into the debate. But I said no because I'd rather debate them one-on-one, and I would have to bring like 4 people on a stream is just, I mean, it's a nightmare.
It's a clusterfuck.
And they play off each other. They got these questions that you can't really fucking answer. It's like, oh, fuck, I don't really fucking care. All right, just fucking good on you. You win, all right. Veggies rule.
Yeah,
I used a clip from your stream with him and Vegan Gains and Kraut and Tea in my last video.
Yeah.
Sorry, you did what?
I used a clip from the stream of you, Bearing, Kraut and Tea, and Jack Green in my last video on veganism. Yeah. And I heard Kraut and Tea was didn't like his performance in that debate. So.
Yeah, you apologise. Fuck it, you didn't even tell me. I had a crack at him. I said, "You fucking idiot! What'd you fucking apologise for?" He's like, "Oh, I felt bad because I did my argument had no substance." I said, "Yeah, I need fucking substance."
He made great points. That's why I was like, "What are you talking about?" He made some great points in there, and you were totally intuitive the whole time, which was great.
Oh, I was pretty quiet because I didn't give that much of a fuck, to be honest.
Oh, I know. But you did say something really interesting because they said, "What would you do if animals could talk? Would that change anything?" And you were like, "Fuck yeah, it would." Could you imagine like if your dog started talking to you? Or if the cow started talking to you, "Please don't eat me." Okay, that's off.
You'd have to be a bit of a cunt to fucking and eat it, wouldn't you? Just quickly, right-wing BDSM guy says, "Sup, B-man, drunk and feeling a little generous." Well, thank you, right-wing BDSM guy.
Drink more.
Yeah. Jewel Wield says, "Donate to Bearing now, you cunts. Also, hi, Phobos, I like your style." And Timothy says, "Hey, Bearing, Ranting Monkey says you like to tongue butter turtle caves." I don't know what that means, but certainly do.
How did Ranting Monkey find that out, Bearing? That's what we all really want.
Oh, me and Ranting Monkey are pretty close. We talk. Yeah. So, fucking the Google manifesto, if that hasn't been talked about enough, what are our thoughts?
I was hoping we were going to talk about that.
Mm.
See, I have yet to actually hear anything about this, but I'm pretty sure anything I do hear, I'm not going to be surprised.
So you don't even know the basic story?
No, I don't. Like I've been seeing it mentioned around, but I haven't gotten a chance to actually see any of the videos addressing it just yet.
Oh, shit. Do you want
to? That's not a bad thing. You want to give them the background, and then anyone else that doesn't know will know.
Oh, I was going to suggest. Do you want to? I like your silky.
I'll do it. Okay. This Google memo, they're calling it the anti-diversity memo. They're calling it the Google manifesto. Now they're calling him Google Bro.
Oh God!
As like a sly put down. But this guy, who seems like a very quiet guy. I don't know. Have you watched any of the interviews with him, Bearing? I watched two interviews.
I watched about half of the fucking Peterson one. Yeah.
Oh, the Peterson one. The Stefan Molyneux one is just like Stefan talks 90% of the time in it, and I wanted to hear his I wanted to hear his story. I know Stefan's opinion already. For goodness sake.
Right? Stefan would have fed him his opinion. Well, this is what you think.
He did. He totally did. Which was
that's what he's good for, man.
It's like, dude. But the guy's pretty quiet. Peterson did a good job because, and I would suggest watching that video if you're interested. Peterson actually goes through the manifesto. So you can, you said manifesto. Now I'm saying manifesto. I think they called it a memo.
What's your word choice? What do you say?
Memo, I think, is the least. Like manifesto makes it sound like we're gonna round up these women.
Everyone's calling it manifesto though. Is that if I've been brainwashed by the mainstream media?
Manifesto just has like the Unabomber had a manifesto. Okay, it's just manifesto.
Does it sound a little bit like a round up the Jews sort of?
It sounds nefarious. It really does.
I don't know. The first thing I think of when I hear manifesto is the Communist Manifesto. And
seriously.
I'll refrain from calling it manifesto. It's memo from now on.
As soon as you call it a manifesto, you know you're going to be being preached to.
But that's an interesting point because it wasn't at all preachy. It was just saying, hey, in the Stephen Molyneux interview, he mentions Jonathan Haidt very early on, and Jonathan Haidt runs this organization called the Heterodox Academy. And his ultimate goal is trying to get some kind of viewpoint diversity out there and to try to stifle some of this hate that's going on between left-leaning and right-leaning groups. And that was the crux of the Google memo, was saying, hey, you know, you're pushing this diversity at us, and it's not exactly easy to, it's not always easy to meet these diversity quotas without sacrificing the meritocracy. And here are some of the reasons why that might be the case. And he actually cited some scientific research, stuff that you've used in your videos, Bearing, stuff that I've used in my videos, stuff that is, I mean, I looked up one of the studies today. We were talking on Twitter about, like, it's congenital adrenal hyperplasia, which I'm probably destroying that. They call it CHP. But this study was done in 2002, okay? That's quite some time ago. But they tested women while they were pregnant to test for levels of testosterone. And the higher the level of testosterone, if the woman has a girl, that girl tends to be a tomboy and tends to be interested in male toys, in male subjects. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the fact that they have 20% engineers at Google is a fact that just to do with this CHA thing. But I mean, if you can't even have that kind of conversation without Google firing you from your job and the whole entire internet coming on and calling you sexist, you know, how are you supposed to make any kind of advancements? So he basically made this innocuous thing that the media is turning into, he's just a misogynist. We've all heard this before because we've all been called this kind of stuff.
Right.
Is that about right, Bearing?
It is, yeah. And look, basically, he talks about, you know, just the differences basically between men and women. You know, women tend to prefer dealing with people and are more empathetic, and blokes tend to like dealing with things. You know, taking apart machines. They're more systematic. And that's
done a study with babies too, which is like before they all want to make this social. What do they call it? It's all society that's shaping these. You know, our perception of women being this way is what's doing it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hey. There's I see Morally Grays in the chat. He'd be great addition to this conversation. Do you mind if we invite him if he's available?
Sure, no, bring him on. I don't care.
Hey, great. I'll send you a link if you're available.
I tried to paste the name of that thing into the chat, but it didn't work.
The name of?
Can't paste into the chat. Congenital adrenal hyperplasia. If you throw that out in a debate against Christy Winters, guess what's going to happen?
She'll pretend she knows what it is and tell you you're wrong. I guarantee it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know.
That's what I think most people on the left don't really understand, is they wonder why this conversation has become so damn unpleasant. And it's because of the way they're conducting themselves, it's not a conversation. It's not even allowed to be a fucking conversation. They just find something in reality that doesn't conform to their ideology, and they wish things are, and they just, you know, throw labels at it until they, you know, essentially think they've made it go away. They do everything they can to silence it. And the only way we're ever going to be able to get on the right path is if we observe reality for what it fucking is. Yeah. You know, and
but this guy's not going at this guy's not going at it like Undoom style, or, you know, there are I mean, this guy was completely innocuous. Like, he's not out there making fun of his coworkers.
Oh, he's a pussycat. He was very
yeah, totally.
He was very diplomatic about it, you know, and he you get the feeling he genuinely wants to improve Google. That was his was his aim.
Not that there's not a place for the Undoom style. I totally think there is.
Oh yeah,
I'm just saying there's a wide range of ways to deal with these things. And when you can't even deal with them in the most innocuous way, it kind of forces you down the spectrum to the less innocuous ways, because you just want to be heard.
That's yeah.
How funny was it? How, I mean, yeah, part of his sort of his memo said, women are, there was something about neuroticism in there, and
No.
and that sort of shit. And the memo comes out, and they fucking prove his point. They're like, well, people get triggered and have to take days off.
Did you watch the CBS video that I sent you? I DM'd you a CBS video.
Oh no, I couldn't watch it because I'm in Australia. It said it was region.
Oh, really?
Region restricted. Yeah.
Damn it.
I'll have to watch it with a VPN.
Yeah, if you can. I mean, it's ripe for a response to, because it is. I mean, it's on the level of the response that you did to the news organization that covered the red pill girl. What's her name? Cassie Jack.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
Hey, Gray.
So, hey, what's up, Morley?
Good. I'm sweet.
We're just talking about the Google, not manifesto, the Google memo.
Memo.
Yes, I've gathered. Yes.
See, now I'm just waiting for the day then we actually start calling legitimate manifestos memos to try to downplay it. Because that's going to be their next approach, right?
Globalization.
Did you get that memo about exterminating white people? Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Gray? Have you been following this?
I have been following it from a different perspective. I'm far more interested in the AI learning programs that they're employing, because we've already seriously, we have already seen this bullshit with good old Candid. Remember that program that you shilled bearing? Yes,
I do.
Yes. So that employed a rather interesting little censorship AI, and now we've got a very similar thing playing out with the YouTube situation and Twitter and probably Facebook in the future as well. I'm really interested in tackling it from the perspective of, okay, what can we see in the future from these systems, these AI systems? Because they are improving, but not in the right way we want to see them, or at least for us, because it's one of those things of who sort of codes the AI to think that something is harassment versus not, and it seems to be rather in this very scary, authoritarian, progressive, fucking whatever you want to call it. Ugh, God. Oh, God.
Well, I know Computing Forever, not, quite some time ago, before I even started my channel, he made a point about people now having the ability to write the subtitles for videos, and, YouTube being able to use those subtitles as metadata to look for shit to censor. And I'm surprised we haven't seen that happening yet.
but I mean, that's so many fucking man hours. Like, I don't think any of my videos have been subtitled by anyone else. Has anyone else had that happen?
Yeah, I suppose we should just be grateful that your standard SJW, while being an ideological fireball, also has the work ethic of a fucking slug. So.
I do remember with good old Wosley. You guys all know Woz, right?
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious. I love his videos. I love his animation. But there was a point when we were all freaking out about the sort of the subtitles thinger, and he posted a video of his with the auto subtitles, and it's just radically incorrect. He's just like, I'm okay with this. I don't have any fears. It's brilliant.
Yeah. There's a video that we did. There was a live stream that we did on Sugar Tits channel. We did it with the Warskis and some black guy, and it was this ridiculous, outrageous fucking story that Sugar Tits dreamt up, and there was a typical black dude, there was a typical Asian dude, there was an Aussie, and there was an Asian hooker sort of thing, and some black guy would be the Asian, and I'd be the black guy, and the Asian from the Warskis would be fucking the Australian.
Did Sugar Tits write that? Was that something she wrote?
That's
hilarious.
That
is hilarious.
She wrote that in right. And I've never done it, but apparently, if you watch that with the auto subtitles on, it is fucking hilarious. Just what it spits out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do that later tonight. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do it for ages. Just quickly, Sweeper Steven says, "Hi, Bering. I was told by Ranting Monkey that you like to tongue butter the turtle cave. Lol. I've got a feeling something's going on here.
You're being harassed.
I know that's a repeat, right? Come on.
What is butter?
We want more interesting facts.
This is a new super chat. What is butter the turtle cave? I feel I am being harassed here. And the Geth says, can you ask Google why PewDiePie is never trending despite having 56 million subscribers? That's a good point.
Maybe it's because half of the planet thinks he's a Nazi now.
Because he's a Nazi.
Yeah.
So why didn't you include something about Peter Coffin's Asian girlfriend in your last video, Barry?
Well, because I didn't want to sort of go too hard on the guy.
You're a pussycat now.
I keep telling him I'm a nice guy.
You're like, I want my monetization on.
Hey, you should tell the boys that story. You should. Are you guys, Gray and Handjob, are you guys aware of the Peter Coffin fake Asian girlfriend story?
I can't say that I am, but I would love to hear this.
Yes, please.
I don't know that I know the whole story. Ajar told me Google Peter Coffin's Asian girlfriend, and if you Google Peter Coffin's Asian girlfriend, evidently he came up with a fake Asian girlfriend and made like a profile for her and everything. And one of the cardinal rules is you do not lie to the internet, because the internet will always find out.
That's how you invoke the wrath of the internet.
Yeah, totally. But he's this outspoken male feminist, right? But that creates all these kind of contradictions. Like, why? What? How is that? It doesn't. I don't know that from just trying to put yourself in the mindset of a feminist. Doesn't that seem a little sexist?
And not only that, I heard that's in fact, what's his name? Philip. I was watching a Philip DeFranco video about it just before.
Yeah, me too.
Philip DeFranco mentions that that in the context of it just being just a white guy, just with a fake Asian girlfriend, and it not really being an Asian girlfriend, some of the stuff was pretty edgy. It could have been pretty racist, you know, if it's just coming from just coming from, like, if it was coming from an Asian girl, not fair enough, get away with it. But if it's just him, it's a bit risque. But so, 8 months, 8 fucking months,
8 months. He kept it up for 8 months.
He carried it on for 8 months.
Conversations with himself, like just bantering with himself.
Wow. So I mean, there's dedication. Like, I mean,
the top hit on Google. The top hit on Google is March 24th, 2011. So what's that, 6 years ago? And it's internet comedian Peter Coffin's fake Asian girlfriend outed. And it's in the Village Voice, which the Village Voice is huge in New York. That's like a major publication.
Is that a newspaper or something?
It is. Yeah. It's a popular newspaper in New York and Brooklyn. So I guess the girl.
So what happened was he got in a fight with some chick, and this chick blocked him, right? And so then he started going at this chick with his girlfriend, his supposed girlfriend's profile. And this chick was like, "Hey, this is sounding very similar to Peter Coffin." So she did a Google image search, and the fake Asian girlfriend ended up being some like pop star from South Korea.
Oh man. God.
I'm not going to believe that immediately. This is the first I've ever heard of it.
Mate, I will fucking link you the. I'll link
no, look it up.
Phil DeFranco doesn't lie, right? He's got sweet eyes. He doesn't lie.
But I think we can all feel. I mean, I agree with you, Barry. It is. I do feel sorry for him.
Yeah, if you're in that position, actually, like we've all known that one kid in high school. So, yeah.
So, but your video today, like,
yeah, man.
What is his thinking? He's just parroting the talking points. I mean, these people don't think for themselves, do they?
No.
Yeah.
I think you'd figured that out a long time ago, man.
Yeah, I do get the impression that unfortunately, he's just watched the fucking, the mainstream news outlets and gone, oh, well, there's a story. I'll do a video. I mean, the bloke just legit did have a baby last week, so his wife did anyway.
Oh, okay.
So he's probably starved of time. He's thinking, oh fuck, I've got to make a video. He's looked at that, he's gone bingo, and so it's kind of understandable, but it's kind of not, because he gets pretty vicious. He goes, this guy should be fired, and he should not be employed by anyone else, legitimate, until he fucking, you didn't have to go that far.
yeah, dial it back a bit.
Yeah. I'll have to watch that video. I only basically just woke up and I was like, oh, a live stream.
Yeah, man. For the past 72 hours, I've been just entirely indisposed, and there's a lot of shit that apparently I'm not aware of right now. I need to look up this Peter Coffin story because, you know, just in the small amount of details that I've heard here, it's something I'm definitely going to want to say something about. I mean, just the fact that, you know, certain things that he would say through that sock puppet of his only became unacceptable when it was outed that it was actually him, actually goes to, it speaks a lot about, you know, what the real problem with racial stereotypes is. It's not really a matter of what's true. It's a matter of who's allowed to say what's true.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. But it is a thing, isn't it? It is just the way it is.
Is Peter Coffin cool? Would he come on the stream?
I wish.
I don't think he would. No, I don't think he would.
I think he follows me on Twitter. That's why I'm asking.
Invite him.
I follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know why he followed me, and I looked at his account, and it's a sad, like he's got I don't know 350,000 subs or something like that, but it's like
just over 200, I think. But
it's like Steve Shive's territory, though. I mean, he gets. I mean, I probably get more video views than him.
Or you probably would.
That's very sad.
Yeah.
So did anyone see the statement by Susan? Is it Wojcicki? I don't know if I'm
fucking knows, man.
She's CEO of YouTube.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I just can't pronounce it.
She came out hard against the Google memo.
Did she?
In what direction do you mean by hard? Like
string them up.
Okay.
The amount of harm he's done to society and her daughter, her personal daughter is. Nah, she came out with one of those stories that was, my daughter looked at me this morning and asked me, Mommy, is it true about women not being as good?
Oh my God.
Engineering? Like
that is
the Google bro says.
That is the fastest way to make sure that I don't give a fuck about your opinion, is to play the think of the children angle. I don't care.
But it's difficult to say if it's honest, though. I mean, how old's a kid? I don't know. Maybe it's
it turns out her daughter's actually like 25.
And Trent.
But first of all, she's the CEO of YouTube, right? So she's a very powerful woman. And I don't think any of us deny that there are very powerful women in the world. But my question is, there's this CAH thing, these women that are born with higher levels of prenatal testosterone that, you know, we have commonly throughout the generations called tomboys. And I just wonder if they see the world through men's eyes more than women's eyes, and they just assume all women are like them. And men we're beating up the guy who's at the back of the line, right? Like, catch up, be a man, for heaven's sakes, right? So why aren't these CAH girls just doing the same thing with women? But the women are like, what are you talking about?
Well, there's probably more nuance to it than just testosterone. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can't just turn somebody's testosterone up and all of a sudden they turn into a fucking man. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's more to it than that.
Here, let me just stop calling it CAH. Let me call it congenital adrenal hyperplasia because it makes it sound more serious. They have studied
it's a mouthful, man.
They have studied this quite a bit. Like, they've done tests with women where they've taken the level of testosterone before the child was born. And then they've looked at the children at 3.5 years old, and they're totally into boy stuff.
Yeah.
There's like a major correlation there. Like, they could do a test where they just take like 5,000 pregnant women and do this test with them and find out how common it is. It would be very interesting if they knew like 20% or 15% or 18% of the population gets this kind of condition. Females get this kind of condition. And those stats just happen to match up perfectly with how many women are going into STEM. I think that's a powerful correlation that you might want to look into.
Out of interest, on the topic of like the differences in testosterone, my mother used to work in the nursing industries, and there's a lot of abuse in the nursing and the like aged care industries. If you've ever known about that, like a lot of abuse. There's a lot of studies. I remember just off the top of my head reading one where they were looking at a number of these abuse claims, and they sort of like tracked down these people and started talking to them, and they found that the people who were ridiculously like the bullies of the workplace and whatever, they had their higher testosterone levels. Now, that's just coming off the top of my head. That's not really related to anything else. I'm just like, oh, I remember that. So I thought that was really interesting. The bullies of the female variety were like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I thought was a little interesting. So, yeah.
I better catch up on these super chats, guys.
Yeah,
I'm getting had here. I'm getting fucking
got a novel there.
Someone's
Jesus Christ, you get $20 super chats, mate.
Who's doing Kevin Logan?
A very dead horse says, cut Peter some slack. He probably didn't have time to research. He just had a baby. I mean, he's probably still sore.
Oh. Oh, that's a nice reversal there. Well done.
PC Robot says, someone said a group of blokes are tonguing turtle caves. Please explain, Bearing. Wouldn't have a fucking clue. I'm going to find out though. Zenith says, just so you know, Bearing, on behalf of all Ranting Monkeys chat regulars, I apologize. Monkey doesn't endorse the actions of Sweeper.
What the fuck?
Fucking, and Matthew Robinson says, fuck all, but he donates $20. Thank you, Matthew.
Dude.
Oh, look at that. And James says, why don't you say something, James? That's $100, mate. Fucking cunt or something.
What the fuck?
What are you not seeing the Kevin Logan chat? Kevin Logan is a love
child.
Yeah.
Okay. They clearly
are we not allowed to do that one?
They clearly want me to say something, so they can
it's like
cut it out and put it in the video, right? Kevin Logan is. Hang on, be quiet, because they've paid for this. They want the soundbite, right? Kevin Logan is the love child resulting from a one-night stand between myself and Fisty at a Bon Jovi / Cinderella concert. Standing up in a porta-john, wasted on shrooms. I had to get that off my chest. It's true. It's all true.
Come on, you can do better.
That's what it would take.
You can do better on that. I had to get it off my chest. Come on, show some emotion, Bearing.
I just had to get that off my chest and onto hers.
Off my chest and onto hers. Nice.
So I'm just investigating something. You know, I've got a sneaking suspicion that fucking Ranting Monkey's streaming at the moment.
That might be. Hey, when that clip pops up, I want it directed by you. I got the emotion out of him. Come on.
Yeah. Where are these Ranting Monkey fucking things coming from? Is it coming from Cognitive Thoughts thing? Hang on, let me just check this.
He ain't streaming.
He was in the chat early on, so
Cognitive Thought is not streaming.
I have eyes on the chat if anyone has any questions on any of the stuff we're talking about.
For a second, I thought I heard you say that Cognitive Thought hates streaming. I'm like, no, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Like, have you seen like his giant feud with Spinosauruskin or whatever the fuck he's calling himself nowadays lately?
On?
I don't know if it's going on still, but I caught the last, I caught at least the last video that he did about it, like maybe about a week or so ago, and it was fucking savage, man. I've never seen anyone rip into him that hard.
Spinosauruskin is a kid, so I mean,
I know it's.
Doesn't he have like
something? Needed to be expected, right?
Right. I don't really. I'm not really sure what my opinion is on him right now. I mean, I know in the earlier days of his channel, he definitely had my respect, especially being as young as he was. But yeah, I don't know. He is very much a kid though, and a lot of these things. I don't want to say that I give him a pass on, because it's acceptable because he's a kid or whatever, but whatever. I just don't want to like eat his face like Cognitive Thought apparently.
I give it a pass too.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're allowed to say fucking idiot, kid. You're forgiven. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Right.
He reckons I'm no intellectual powerhouse. Did you know that?
I don't know. I heard him say that.
or Spinosauruskin.
Yeah. He says Bearing's no intellectual powerhouse. Before
then why are your videos more successful than his? Checkmate.
Right. Well,
I'm going to say that it was an ad pop fallacy. He would say,
Hey, man,
my
when you got
videos
this many
are-
subscribers, you're allowed to do fucking ad pop fallacies, motherfucker.
Yeah, mate.
It's
I'm only joking. Hey, let's go and say hi to Cognitive Thought. Can everyone open a new page? Go to Cognitive Thought's chat and say Bearing sends kisses.
what is
XOX for like kiss, hug, kiss. Bearing sends kisses. XOX.
Is he actually streaming?
He is actually streaming. So
Oh.
in his chat, I want to see Bearing sends kisses. XOX a heap of times. If
There you are, Cognitive.
That'd be fantastic. This will be funny. All right.
So
I believe in you. I believe in you, chat. I believe in you.
So what happened with
So
is
that's-
there
oh,
a resolve on the
No, that's-
starting.
that's going to be a title. Hang
Bearing
on.
sends kisses. XOX. Yes. Nice. Yeah, cool. I like it. I like it.
people are saying Sargon is banned on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
That's
this
new?
real? Hang on. I'm seeing. Hang on. Sargon.
Gray?
Following.
Come on, Gray. Fucking hell. Bearing sent me
He
good rats.
is.
That's not.
Holy shit. He's suspended.
Oh my God, Sargon was suspended
Sargon gets-
again.
He gets fucking suspended every day.
I wonder if
Yeah,
it was
he's
for
been
gay
suspended
porn this
a
time.
bunch of times.
I mean,
That was good.
having the
That was
kind
good.
of influence that he has, I imagine it's impossible to do anything without making a big splash pretty much everywhere you go. But sometimes I have to think that he's provoking it, like he wants this shit to happen.
How much of all this Google stuff that's going on do you think is them feeling some kind of remorse for Trump? Do you think they feel somewhat responsible for his election?
Remorse or revenge?
Probably a little bit of both. To be
Somewhere in the
frank.
gray area between those two.
Great point.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a change going on. More people they were starting to, maybe before the election, they didn't realize how many people were influenced by online stuff. And now that they're starting to realize that, and they got a result that wasn't something they wanted. I mean, a lot of liberals were just blindsided by the election of Trump and everything that's been going on they've been constantly upset about. So
Yeah,
I wonder
and
if they're making
they overplay
changes.
it, don't they? They massively overplay it. Like you notice. I forget who said it. I think one of the news presenters said it the other day that they always think that Trump's going to be impeached in the next few months. There's only a few months to go.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
think that's
so-
going to happen.
No,
Yeah,
either do I.
totally.
Neither do I.
They're,
But that's
they're
but
getting their
they seem
hopes
to
up.
believe
They're getting people's hopes up with that kind of talk.
The other thing
I mean,
find
there's
very-
been entire websites that have gone up because of it, and like basically based around the whole prediction thing. Like, when is Trump going to get? When is he going to basically be fired? And like,
bet on
they're
it.
going to be doing this throughout his. They're going to be doing that throughout his entire term. I promise you.
I think it's actually really interesting. Like when we were looking at the election, like because I was on there, I was like, yeah, pretty sure he's got a good shot at it. But when you look at the polling data, of course, the polling data radically said that nope, it was going to be Hillary, 100%. There's no chance in hell. Blah blah blah. Move on. We're kind of seeing the same sort of thing at the moment with his opinion polling. I don't know if you guys have either ever bothered to like look into how they're doing their opinion polling. Their opinion polling is just as flawed as what it was before. Like we got to come to terms with the fact that Trump was only, if we first past the post, beaten by votes. It's something, 3 million, I think it was, at the final count that he was beaten by. So you've still got only 3 million less in numbers that we're dealing with millions. Like there's a sizable amount of people that had to vote for Trump to get him in. These opinion polls, everyone's like, oh, he's got the lowest opinion rating in history. I don't know about that, man. I really don't know about that. Your sampling methods are disgusing. Your sampling methods are like, hey, who's in the office? Do you guys hate Trump? Yeah, we do. Okay, well, it's terrible, like.
Yeah. If there's one recurring lesson in all of the butthurt backlash opinions against Trump's election, it's consider the source. I mean, seriously, always. Anytime you hear anything like that, his opinion polls are the lowest in history. Well, consider the source. Like you said, they're
oh right, yeah.
their methods of gathering those opinions in the first place are skewed as hell. So,
yeah.
I just read the book Shattered Inside the Hillary Clinton's Doomed Campaign. It was pretty hilarious. Yeah. They had all kinds of trouble, and Obama built this analytics team that they were really able to drive votes with people online, with people communicating through Facebook and Twitter and social media and those kind of things. And they had a similar analytics. Hillary Clinton had a similar analytics team too. And she just put all her faith in this analytics team. And they didn't do any of the traditional stuff that they do, their own, call poll. They do a lot of different metrics. So they were completely in the dark as well. And I mean, you could tell that on election night. In the very end of the book, they talk about remember how on election night, I don't know if you guys watch the election coverage, but
I did.
We were waiting for her to come out. Like, is she going to concede or whatever? No, I don't think she talked until the next day. Podesta, but they were talking in the book. So first of all, in order to do one of these books, they have to sign in blood that none of this is going to get leaked out until after the election. It doesn't make sense. But they're interviewing people who are just, so once they sign all those blood contracts, they're just speaking their mind and shit, right? So there's all kinds of stuff in here about how she couldn't make a decision, and there was one of the interviews that she was supposed to do after the email scandal blew up. She wanted to do with this particular reporter that was going to give her this softball interview. And she told Huma Abedin the name of the reporter, and Huma Abedin told somebody else, and I think they told somebody else. And after this, this accidental telephone, she got a totally different reporter. Why wouldn't you put that in writing? Why would you do something? Why would you do something that idiotic? And then I never finished on the campaign night, but on the campaign night, they barely had a concession speech roughed out that they were writing in 25 minutes before before she was going to go out and concede. So it was just a total train wreck.
Didn't she get violent? Didn't she? I heard she was hysterical. Where did I hear that from?
Someone when I was reading the book, someone on one of the streams I was on was saying she was an alcoholic. And I was saying, but I was telling him there's no evidence of that in the book or anything. And then I think it was because they were totally losing in the first half of the book. But then she had some wins once the debate came around, and then the alcohol came. I was like, oh, well, I kind of feel like a dick now because I was saying, but they were drinking. I guess President Clinton's a big Scotch fan. The Bill Clinton. So.
Yeah, I'll believe that too.
he would have copped a fucking hiding. I can see her getting her fucking physical. I reckon she was just lucky, man.
What the fuck?
They never had a solid message. They never. And one of the huge mistakes that she made, I think, was running as a woman. Obama was brilliant in the fact that he never ran as a black man. Right? It was just inconsequential. But no.
Well, that's the problem with.
That's
the problem with pandering, man. I mean, when it comes to pandering, you can pander to everybody whose vote you're trying to win all fucking day. But the problem with it is none of it's going to come together as a cohesive central message. It's going to be very clear that no part of you is in anything that you're saying. You're just saying what you want, what you think they want to hear. And, after a while, it's very clear to see that there's no backbone to your message if there's a message at all. So, that, as far as I'm concerned, that's what destroyed her chances right there.
Well, that, and she never she didn't do any miles. She didn't go out and see people.
They talk about that.
Traveling and rallies and Christ knows what that Trump did. She fucking stayed home. She was sick.
Yep. Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck? That's weird.
What?
Sorry, no. Okay, so Bearing, I just sent you a link, right, through Twitter. It's just fucking with me. So YouTube just promoted 19 minutes ago a video from a guy called Tyler Oakley, or girl, I don't know. It's one of these trans videos. And the account has 7.9 million people subscribed to it. It was published 2 days ago, but it's only got 70,000 views. Work that out.
Is it the opposition? Is it a conservative or anti-PC?
No, it's promoted by YouTube, so it's pro-PC as all fuck, I'd imagine. I haven't watched it, but I'm just interested in those metrics. Like, how can a channel on
shit, isn't it?
How can a channel on 7.9 million subscribers achieve 70,000 in 2 days?
When does this become like a public utility where it becomes not just a right but a necessity? Because it kind of seems like the phone company, if you start a business, the phone company can't come in and willy-nilly shut your phone line off because they don't like what you're saying politically.
Well, with Sargon, you're referring to?
Well, just anyone. Go ahead.
YouTube and Twitter and all of them. You're right. It's becoming a means of sort of vital communication. It's like liken it to, like, imagine in the fucking, when did telephones come out, in the 20s or 30s or something? Imagine you're on your phone on the phone to your mates, talking about controversial shit, and all of a sudden it hangs up and some cunt goes, "You have been banned for talking about controversial shit."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't really think that there's really all too much of a difference. I mean, the only real difference there is the fact that telephone conversations were very much they were interpersonal, with your friends, with whoever it was that you were talking to. Prior to the internet coming around, there were very few, if any, ways at all to broadcast from your personal phone your opinion to the entire fucking world. And if there was, then I guarantee you they probably would have come down on it just as hard, as they are nowadays. It's not a matter of what you're saying. It's a matter of who is hearing it and how many people are hearing it and what it can influence, what it can ultimately influence, Yeah.
Hey, this is interesting. I don't know if this is bullshit or not, but we'll find out. Phobos Media in the chat says, did that fat acceptance speaker really just die now?
Which one?
People are saying it's satire, but people are saying it's satire, but the people who say it's satire are posting a fake name for her, Kelly Drinkwater. No, there is a fat acceptance chick called Kelly Drinkwater. She's that huge, enormous heifer that I did that TED Talk video about.
That's the one. That's the only one whose name I can consistently remember because her last name is just hilarious to me.
Not even Tess Holiday. You can't
remember that. Remember the two booted legs of pork.
Yeah, those.
Was that old bearing Avatar or is that new bearing?
Yeah,
Avatar?
it was, but I updated it. There is some chat.
How many videos have you updated?
No, not a huge proportion. Maybe 20%.
It doesn't seem like it. Yeah.
There's a Reddit thing here, but that's probably bullshit. Fat acceptance activist dead from heart attack at 34.
Oh my god.
That's okay.
You do me a favor, send me that link on Twitter, man. I gotta read that for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Well,
That's an article that needs to just
death acceptance movement.
That's an article that needs to just be hoisted up a flagpole. I swear to God, it'd be like, no matter how accepting you want to be.
If that's true, I will do a video about that because that's that should be known.
Death the Reaper does not care how accepting you are of your fat. Okay.
Oh, hang on. There's something here that says, true. However, it's fake news, and her real name is Kelly Jean Drinkwater. She's still alive, and the viral article swirling around the web are wrong. So some cunts made this up.
It happens.
It does. Although there was that one with the person who was opening their letter or something and thought it was like a check for their welfare or like their confirmation for it, but turns out it was just a medical certificate saying they have diabetes or something.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Like anybody was going to be surprised, right?
Yeah.
Well, hang on. What was it?
Oh, there was this thing I was watching a few days ago on Facebook, and there's this viral video is going around with this fat person, and They've got this letter, and they think that the letter is going to be the government telling them that they're acceptable for welfare benefits. But what it was a doctor's certificate saying they have diabetes. So yeah, everyone in the comments was just like, "Oh, ha, 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 fuck fat people." I'm like, it's kind of fucking sad.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, mate.
I mean, that's why I have to.
I don't think this is true. I don't think this is true.
And I'm so totally going to gym now after this chat.
Again, that's why I have to appreciate, Drinkwater's, her gumption rather. Like it's to have the last name Drinkwater and to not only be a fat fuck, but be a fat acceptance person. I mean, if you're going to do it, embrace it. Change your name to Drink Gravy or something.
Drink syrup. Yeah,
drink syrup. Drink syrup. Yeah, that's even better. I don't know. I just imagined that that scene from Super Troopers where they're chugging the syrup, and I just pictured her face.
Well, speak of the fucking devil, news.com.au 26 minutes ago. Tess Holliday is an obese model, not thick or plus size or curvy. So, right, okay. This should be interesting.
Don't.
Well, I mean, really, that's just a matter of lying to yourself. I mean, of course, if she's intelligent, she's not going to call herself curvy or thick, because pretty much anybody who uses those terms has a particular shape in mind, and she knows damn well that hers is not the shape they're thinking of.
Yeah.
Don't you think that social pressure serves a purpose, though? Like we want people to be healthier. That's why that social pressure exists.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh, what's this? Tess Holliday went after that stupid viral photo with the guy who's just like, "I love my fat wife." Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that?
No, I didn't. It was
the guy. There was this photo that went viral of this guy. He's like hugging his girlfriend on a beach, and he's just like, "I love how curvy she is, and she's brilliant," and all the rest.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently Tess Holliday did not like this. She was not happy because he was referring to her as curvy, whereas a real woman with curves is like Tess Holliday. It was more like a gelatinous bulb of lard.
That is the second way to make sure that your opinion does not matter to me, is to basically start redefining words on your own terms and deciding that you're an authority on what words mean.
Yeah, no, Tess Holliday's not curvy. She's not curvy. She's fat as fuck.
No.
Yeah, Tess Holliday is curvy like the moon is curvy. Okay.
She is an odorous lump of misshapen DNA.
Yeah. And she has just as many fucking craters as well, I'm sure.
She would do.
You guys are so bad.
Yeah.
Shut up, FriendEd.
No, it's Helping Hand has very, very unique insults.
Look, man, all I know is I've had plenty of people, especially lately, basically tell me, not to use insults or, take the high road. You know what, man? Look, if me using a few sour words here and there is enough to like delegitimize everything else that I said in my argument, then frankly, whoever is saying that, they were not up to the task of rationally assessing the argument in the first place. Oh, it's just random people in the comments here and there. I don't get it very often, but when I do, it's kind of annoying. It really is.
I mean, that's part of your style, though. I mean,
it very much is.
You've been typecast. You can't escape that. Like that's
right.
Hang on, what's his style? To insult or to not insult? What do you say?
He does these very, very creative insults.
Yeah,
they're very. Hey
man, I figure if I'm going to
surgical.
They are, and they often put an image in your head that you kind of can't shake. It's like, ugh.
Well, I mean, sometimes they make it easy, man. I mean, I don't know if you saw that video that I did on the whole Creators for Change. That was all I was thinking the entire time when Amani, when Amani came on screen, when I was watching that original video, I'm like, God, she's like a human blow up doll in a fucking burqa or in a fucking hijab. Like nothing. The only Muslim thing about her is the fucking hijab that's on her head. That's it. Like everything
Google
else
right now is strategizing on how to delete your channel.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I've been preparing for it.
You're on the list somewhere. They have this big long list, I'm certain, that are like, okay,
Dude, that's why I've been saving all of the source files of all of my videos, because as soon as that happens, like, I don't know if it's going to be VidMe, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be starting a channel somewhere else if that happens.
Yeah, start a VidMe and start a mine. Just quickly, this is bizarre. Merck says, Bearing, check your Discord messages. Very eerie. I will in a sec. And,
oh, God damn it. That's another thing I need to do.
And
Dick,
Dope,
okay.
it's a
out,
chat
Barry.
within a chat. That's inside your live stream. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a chat within a chat that's inside your live stream.
Yeah, that was some cryptic too. I didn't get that.
Oh my god. Slate's running hit pieces against science. What? Particularly evolutionary science. Sorry. In response
against science in general.
Against science again, yeah. Stop equating science with truth. I just had it linked on my Discord. Fucking evolutionary psychology is just the most obvious example. Fuck you.
Who wrote that article? Who's that article? What's the headline on that? Because someone sent me an article that was just
Chanda Prescott Weinstein.
Okay, yeah.
God damn it.
I looked her up on Twitter and I'm blocked by her already.
No
and I've never even heard of this woman. Yeah. And so obviously I logged into my other account. And I had a look, and man, the level of crazy. She's a
particle physicist. Yes.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
You got to look at her website and look at the awards that she's won. Like, if you're winning an award in physics, like LGBT physics.
What?
I can't imagine the competition.
LGBT physics. What the fuck?
No, I'm serious. Look at her website. I can't imagine that the pool to win that award is huge. It's probably like 3 people, right?
Yeah.
Chandra.
So the headline of the article is equating science with truth.
Holy shit.
Say that?
So yeah, no, but she looks exactly as I thought she would look. But anyway, yeah, stop equating. I'll link it in the stream chat. Not stream chat. The fucking
much of the science that resulted from this system conducted primarily by white men.
Fuck that.
You should screen share so everyone can see it.
God damn it. Anytime anybody says anything along those lines, you know, from the creationists of, you know, the older days of the skeptic community.
It's in the I'm not gonna even try and screen share, honestly.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm not on NBN. Okay. My upload speed is limited to 0.8 meg a second. It is beyond painful.
Oh yeah, you're in shitty internet land. Why don't you guys fix that over there?
See, well, we have this conservative government that really doesn't seem to like fun. I don't know why.
Yeah,
but it's a bit of a problem. Yes,
True.
Yes.
Much of the science that resulted from the system conducted primarily by white men is what helped teach us that women were the inferior sex.
Oh, so much bullshit in just that one sentence.
Racial taxonomies conveniently confirmed the enslaving African people was a perfectly reasonable behavior since, as Thomas Jefferson put it, black people were inferior to whites.
Oh my god,
this is difficult to read.
Wow,
an embodiment. Yeah, I don't want to go too far because
I'm probably going to read this and put this on my channel.
Yeah, it definitely
tonight.
covers. There's some raping of Sally Hemings that's covered.
Yes, there is. Oh my god,
totally.
this is brilliant. Where's this going? Oh, last month a study of women in astronomy and planetary science. Okay. Oh no, I thought that was a journal. I thought that was a journal name. I was going to lose my shit. like women in astronomy and planetary science. I just would have I couldn't take that. That was hilarious.
I'm going to read you her award too. On March 15th, 2017, I received the 2017 LGBT plus Physicist Acknowledgement of Excellence Award for years.
Hang on. Are we still on?
Effort.
So are we still on Stop Equating Science with Truth?
Yeah. Oh well, not him, but.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at the author's website.
What the fuck is this? She's linking things on Twitter. I maintain a decolonizing science reading list.
I know. I looked at that. I read part of that today. Yeah. We have to hey guys. We have to decolonize science. Don't fuck
I mean, do
around,
we though?
okay?
Do we really? What the hell? What the hell does that even mean? Like, I haven't yet to hear
You know what it
an actual.
means, Hans.
What the fuck
You know
am
what
I
it
reading?
means.
Anytime
What
I hear
the
anybody talking out of their ass about science like this, my only
Mm-hmm.
response to them is, I want you to describe to me the scientific method. And I
You
want them to
know
do
what
it
it
accurately,
means.
because unless they can describe the scientific method to me accurately, everything that they say about science from that point on is just fucking invalid. I'm sorry.
Where is her?
Is this
You-
Chandra's website you're talking about?
Yes.
Medium.com?
Oh no, I was just at her.
let me see.
No,
Just clicked on
okay.
her thing on Slack.
I'm
trying-
clicking on a thing on Twitter. Wait,
Mine
Dr.
says
Prescott
screen share
Weinstein.com.
not supported. I can't screen share, so I'm trying.
Baron, you
I'm
able to?
screen-
Ah, you are.
I'm-
Sweet.
yeah, I'm screen sharing.
Excellent.
So I'm on the article. Like, where do we
Yeah.
get to? Oh, are we going to a Twitter? Is that where we're
Oh,
going?
I went down
I
about
can- I'll
halfway.
let
The
you
paragraph that I started reading from was by the fold.
Here's her Twitter.
Oh, you're not
Yeah.
blocked by her, Bearing? Bullshit. How am I blocked by her and you're not blocked by her?
Follow her on Twitter.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
unblocked.
that's about what I expect.
Wow. Okay.
It's like
Never
an afro-
interacted ever before.
an
Are you
afro
blocked?
with a human attached. is
I'm
what it
not.
is.
I'm not. I'm
Is
perfectly
that
fine.
really her? That
Oh,
photo?
okay.
Is that legit her?
Jesus, that nose.
I mean, I'm sure she's nice.
That
Let's
knows that everything. Oh my god.
Yes,
fucking one of them.
I'm sure she's nice too. Yes, of course.
I mean, she's in the bubble. I mean, she's probably not a lot of air in there. Okay.
Oh, you can be sure of that.
She's a little hypoxic, dude.
Like I really don't want to judge people based on their appearance, but if I saw that
Well,
across
yeah,
the
you're
room,
the
I
one
would.
doing that over and over again. I'm reading her article. I love particle physics and cosmology, and my research spans cosmological scales from cosmic acceleration to dark
here we
matter. I also have a
That's
strong
good.
interest in feminist philosophy of science.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Fucking
You heard that
terrible.
here first. Philosophy of science.
Yes, yes. I've noticed that there is, in fact, the real like science obviously came from a very philosophical lens, and it became a little bit more empirical over time, and then it became a lot more empirical, and then we were like,
Yeah,
yeah, we
now
can
it's-
do things with this. But man, there is a lot of a pushback. Like that philosophies of science is a legit course that I had at the unis I was going to.
Mhm.
Like you could do that, and I'm like, isn't that regressing backwards? Like, should we not
That's
be?
exactly what it is.
We shouldn't be referring to it as a philosophy. Like come on.
I read the Decolonizing Science reading list today, and it really I'm always interested in what people's motivations are, and it really seems like she wants to like feel a kindred spirit towards her heritage, and she wants science to be a part of that heritage. So she's just kind of manufacturing this history.
Like, I would only be interested in those that the perspectives of those that believe we need to decolonize science, just based on how best to what angle to best attack it from. Because essentially, if they're going from this opening sentiment of we need to decolonize science and philosophies of science and all this nonsense, then they do not understand how important empiricism is to the modern scientific method and how irrelevant personal belief is. They know fuck all about science, but they're gonna prattle on about it anyway because they have a fucking agenda to fulfill.
It's also very interesting. I've been meaning to sit down and actually go through this process and compare the differences between the creationist audiences and the social justice audiences, primarily using Evergreen as a case study in many respects. Because I don't know, FriendEd, you may have done this probably. Have you ever actually sat down, watched these conferences and presentations that Evergreen College does, and watched the behavior? No, seriously, and watched the body language, the behavior, the social cues that take place within these groups, and then compare it against like a church proceeding. They are fucking identical. They're absolutely identical. Like my favorite one is the personal test me's. So you'll have someone come out with some sort of faith-based substanceless statement like, I'm oppressed because X race, whatever that is, right? And then you'll have people in the audience say, who wants the mic? Does anyone want to give a testimonial? Yes, please. I'll do it. Fine. Yes. See, I'm black and I've been abused by various different things. Someone looked at me wrong today. And then in like a church service, you'll have people go, who's been touched by the light of Jesus Christ? And then, of course, down goes the mic and let's talk around. Amen, brother, you know?
Right.
It's insane. Seriously, if you get the chance, like, just watch these things. They are creepy. There's actually a guy who does deserve more subscribers, to be honest. Benjamin Boyce or Joyce or something like that.
Benjamin Joyce.
Benjamin Joyce, I'm pretty sure. I think he's a faculty at Evergreen, but it's like his entire focus. And the guy breaks these things down quite well, actually, I think. He's done lots of things on it. I'm surprised he doesn't have more coverage because he gets a lot of views per video. He just doesn't seem to get a lot of subscribers, which is kind of bizarre. So
it's not a bad problem to have. I mean, the views are more important than the subscribers anyway.
True.
Yeah. That's definitely a lesson I've learned.
Benjamin Joyce with a J?
Yeah, he's got glasses. He's a white guy, a bit of a beard.
PSA Stitch is a guy you guys should subscribe to too.
Oh yeah, I saw your Twitter on him. He's giggles. He is giggles.
He's a super smart guy too, and he knows his shit.
Yeah, honestly, that's another pretty good indicator. I mean, the way that they conduct these meetings as though they were, church sermons, and the fact that they would pass around the microphone like that. Who wants to make a test? Who wants to testify?
What's the takeaway on that, though? What do we learn from that? I mean, what's the?
Oh, just have a fucking have a
just that it's like just
well,
that
my preferred hope. Like I don't know if you guys have noticed this. Did any of you guys really take any form of action during like pre-2012 atheist civil war that took place? Were you guys ever involved in the atheist groups? Yes, of course. So
I was trolling like a mofo.
So now, did you notice, and I noticed this, I thought this was very interesting. Now, of the atheists who deconverted, who changed away from a religion, did you notice just how many of them picked up the feminist positions when the time came? Because at least for me, it was almost like the people who had left a religion immediately were like, well, I'll pick up this feminism thing, and ran with it in the exact same way as when 2012 hit. So I thought it was really interesting.
Kind of the other way around. I think that they were feminist. I think a lot of them were feminists before they were atheists. Like, I see it this way. They grow up around religion. Religion says, women are subservient to men. They don't like that. Freaks them out. They get disgusted by it. They're like, fuck religion. And then they find atheism, right? But they came to atheism for a very specific reason, because they didn't like the way religion treated women. So really they were feminists. But so there are other people that are being thrown in with the atheists in this same way. There are people that don't like blasphemy laws. They're like, I say whatever the fuck I want. I want to be able to dip my Jesus statue in piss,
Right.
So that was a big controversy.
So they become atheists because they don't like people telling them what to do, right? They end up in the atheist pot too. But the feminists and the people who want to say what they want to say, like, they have really nothing in common except for this atheism thing. It just took them a while to figure that out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because they were like, well, I thought we were all here because religion shit on women. And they're like, what? Are you?
Yeah.
I'm here because they were telling me what to do.
Do you remember when that group of feminists lined up outside the Vatican and dildoed their asses with crucifixes? Fuck, that was
my God.
Was so
Oh
funny.
my God, no, that's crazy.
That was a thing that happened. That fucking happened. Look it up.
I'm afraid to look.
I'm excited to look it up. Yes.
Yeah,
see, I don't think you should be excited, man. Remember, we are talking about feminists here. Like, it's not going to be a good thing to look at.
Dude, I'm shallow.
Were those people feminists before they were atheists? I think probably so.
I mean, if I had to attribute that to anything, I would just attribute it to so many people's need for closure. Like the fact that religion, for a lot of people, it's not really a matter of needing to know that there's an afterlife and needing to know that there's a God. It's just a matter of needing solid, what they believe are solid, concrete answers for things in their life without any ambiguity. You know, they need to believe that there is a solid answer and that somebody out there actually knows it. And you get that by, you know, being in that kind of religious structure where somebody is telling you what to do and what to believe. And it's very much the same thing in feminism. They tell you what to think, and they tell you what to do with what you think. And you know, it's essentially the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you did say it, like structure. That's a very good way of pointing it out. Structure,
right?
Like, this is a very regimented position. There you are. You fall in that line, you're good. You fall out that line, you're bad.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's the mixed messages that feminism send. You know, like, on one hand, you know, the feminists will say, "Oh, you know, the movement's all about free thought. Women should be independent and rah rah." But the second you fall out of line, you're just railroaded. That's
but at also the same time, feminism isn't a monolith, so nothing represents it. So yeah,
it's a monolith when it's convenient for them, and it's not a monolith when it isn't convenient for them.
And now, please be witness to our infinitely expanding tautologies.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Hey, I tell you a channel that you guys should have a look at. It's very, very interesting. Is Bombard's Body Language. Very, very interesting.
Okay.
She's like a body language and facial sort of language expert, and she sort of does she'll assess famous speeches by Obama or by fucking I watched one the other day by Linda Sarsour.
Oh,
And she just reads their faces and their body language and shit, and sort of has a good sort of guess as to what they actually mean. It's really interesting.
What was the name?
Yeah.
Bombard body language.
Bombard's body language.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, found her a couple of weeks ago. It was really cool.
Jesus, she tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100,000. She real. What the fuck?
Sometimes I wonder how real that stuff is. Like, how do they do the scientific research on that to make sure that it's accurate?
Well, most of it, I mean, I haven't done too much into it. I have done some reading on it with.
I mean, I'm sure they do.
Stuff.
I think it's very much an art as well as a science.
Well, it is a big element of therapy, though. You do have to learn how to read people. Interpersonal skills is a big example of that as well. Any studies into interpersonal skills, you'll come across body language almost immediately. Just the studies on how people perceive faces alone is quite extensive.
Yeah.
She's done prints. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was her most recent one, I think, isn't it?
Prince. No, that was a week ago. She's now looking into the Russia sanctions.
She's done fucking Kim Jong-un.
Oh,
Kim Jong-un. Unbelievable.
Justin Trudeau. I'm going to watch Justin. That'll be fucking golden. You'll just be a faggot.
Putin's pretty interesting, too. Yeah, wow.
Have you ever noticed that? I think I was watching a Putin one, and she pointed out that have you ever noticed that Putin's how he does a strut?
Yeah,
when he walks.
Yeah,
have you ever noticed
totally.
his left hand, right? Or it's either his left or his right hand. Fucking stays just dead straight down his side. Like only one arm swings, and the other one stays like, perfectly stationary.
That sounds like half a duck walk.
Well, it's because
or half a goose step. I mean,
in his fucking special services, fucking special forces days, they taught you to keep one arm stationary so you could grab your gun.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was
walk,
thinking.
Mr. Putin.
Yeah, but when you notice it, you really notice it. You're like, oh fuck, that's really weird. Like you're strutting, you're doing the whole strut thing. One arm's sort of fucking jiving along, the other one's just dead.
You think he's still packing though? He probably is though, huh?
Yeah, of course he is. Are you kidding?
I know.
Well, I mean, even if he isn't, it would still make sense that he keeps doing it. I mean, that's something that you would have to program yourself to do. Though the entire reason we swing our arms in the first place is to keep our balance. So if you're actively keeping yourself from doing that, it's going to affect your balance until eventually you practice it and kind of realign how you walk, to kind of accommodate for it. So I would almost think that he would have to teach himself to walk the right way again.
Yeah.
Putin's probably gonna die in office, huh? He's
never leaving that office. That's still fucking KGB run, dude. That's
Well, Wasn't he? Was he the prime minister and then the president?
Yeah, and then the president, and then the prime minister. He's like going back and forth. He's got a nice little racket going. What? How often do they change? Who? You have a prime minister or a president in Australia?
Prime minister.
Yeah, and we don't elect anything.
How often do they change? Oh, so you don't elect the prime minister. You elect the Congress or whatever.
We don't elect him.
Well, no, we don't elect. We don't actually decide who the prime minister is.
Oh, we vote on the party, not the.
Yeah, we vote on the party, and then they decide.
But the party tells you ahead of time before you vote. They say we're going to pick this guy, right? It's not a big surprise.
They can get fucking knifed 3 days in. You don't know.
Yeah,
you can end up with a different.
Yeah, we've had a series of very unstable governments over the last decade, actually.
Really?
Oh yeah,
wasn't Julia Gillard great? That was fantastic.
Yes, we had a period called the Julia Rudd government where these two just went back and forth with this poison chalice that is our government.
Oh, God.
Wow.
This pathetic little homo of a man and this fucking bitch dragon,
Mr. Earwax.
Were they
he ate his earwax, didn't he?
Yeah, he ate his earwax. Did you ever see what the chaser? How the chaser went after that? Holy shit, dude! Oh my God, it was vicious.
Your prime minister ate his earwax.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I fucking forgot about that.
He's just sitting in Parliament, and he's got his little pinky finger having a dig, and then he just takes it out. Look,
no way!
Oh, I put it straight in my mouth. He didn't think anyone was watching. And
no way.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking hilarious, man. We have some crazy politicians.
That's weird. How long are they usually there? Because we're Trump for 8 years here. We
don't have any limit. We don't have any limit, do we?
Really? Well, we don't have a term. No, we don't have a term limit. And you can keep going as long as you get elected. But we have
how long was Howard? Was Howard in for
12 years? Yeah. We forgot that we could change our prime minister at that point.
Yeah,
he was brought in.
He should still be there. I reckon he should still be there.
I just think it's weird because dictators die in office. They do. It's so weird. Like Saddam Hussein was in charge of Iraq for 40 years. That's so crazy. I can't imagine. In the United States, we have a new president. It's almost like a cultural thing to get we're sick of this guy. Bring on the new guy.
Why is there a rule for it though? Like, what if you're on a fucking good thing? What if everyone loves him and the country's going well?
Because the Republicans got pissed off because FDR would have been in office for 100 years.
They would have never let him.
So they changed. Well, he ended up dying in office, so they changed it. They must have had everything in the works and changed it before.
Was he the president that was serving through World War II?
Yes. Yeah. He's the one that
ended up in a wheelchair.
He enacted Social Security, and I mean the New Deal got us through the Great Depression. Everyone loved FDR.
Yep.
There we go. Dark 666 pagan in the chat says Robert Menzies 18 years. That's interesting.
Jesus.
And all I know is
what's his name? Churchill served. Churchill was the PM twice in Britain.
Yeah.
He was through World War II, and then he did another stint, I think, in the 50s, or the 60s.
Yeah,
I'm sure he did. Let me just check that.
I don't know. All I know is I need to.
He's not going anywhere. It's funny they have mandatory
global politics.
They do. They have mandatory voting in Russia.
I like mandatory voting.
Mandatory voting? What a joke!
No, really? I think it's a good thing. Honestly, I really do.
No. It's a good thing.
I'll take the day off.
Thing anywhere but in Russia. What's the fucking?
No, yeah, that's
Russia.
No,
I wasn't referring. I'm being here. Like fuck Russia.
In Russia, it's like insult to injury because it's like mandatory voting. It's not going to matter or anything, but you got
fucking snowing and shit, and it's fucking all miserable. You got to fucking go out and vote when you know the fucking result. Yeah, Churchill was the PM of England from 1940 to 45, and then from 51 to 55.
And then, of course, Putin still gets in no matter what. Yes.
Yeah. That'd be.
I do agree with mandatory voting, at least here, though.
I wanted it. Yeah. Other than when my fine comes, when I fucking forget, I agree with it.
How do you forget? You have like so much time.
I don't forget the big ones. I don't forget the prime minister ones, but the little shit ones, the little fucking council ones and shit. I get fined for them all the time.
I love.
What's the fine? That's pretty hilarious.
It's like
what do you get fined?
It's like 200. Yeah, it's pathetic.
I've never paid one. I've never paid one in my life.
Oh my god,
it's
they're like
very
parking. They're like parking tickets, and Bering doesn't pay them.
Well, they actually
what are they gonna do? Lock me up for not voting? What a fucking joke! You're hereby sentenced to jail for not voting. Fuck off.
Do you have the jury thing? Because they threatened to lock me up for failing to go to jury duty.
Oh yeah, we have jury duty. I haven't been summoned ever before, but yeah,
I've never been summoned.
My
old man got summoned once, and they interview you to see if you're going to be like a fucking impartial fucking thing, and I forget what he did, but it was something outrageous in his interview or in his questionnaire thing. He's gone, yeah, no, you acted all reasonable. Then right at the end, he's like, but fuck those Asians. I fucking hate Asians. so he didn't get picked.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
Gaming the system, yeah.
I was on jury duty one time, and there was a guy that was doing that same thing. He was bragging about it in the hall, and he was going to get in the box, and he was going to make sure that he didn't get jury duty. And he jumped in there, and he was like, "Oh, just look at the guy. He just looks guilty." What do you mean? Just look at him. And the guy was sitting there, and I swear I thought he was going to shit his pants. The guy was like so petrified. Wow. It was the saddest thing I'd ever seen. I was like, "Geez,
what the fuck is the defendant was sitting there?"
Yeah, the defendant's sitting there, and he's like going, just look at him. He just looks guilty. I'm like,
that's
oh my god, this is. I know. I'm like this. I lost all faith in the justice system in that moment because he was totally tainting everyone in the room.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, the vast majority of people out there don't see jury duty as any kind of honor. They just see it as a massive chore that's going to waste your time. I mean,
yeah, but this guy was doing harm at the same time. The kid ended up.
Yeah, but it served his purpose, though, didn't he? He got out of it.
The kid copped a plea. Probably because he's like, everyone in here thinks I look guilty. Yeah. He took a plea deal from the prosecutor. Yeah. So who knows? Like who knows if he was innocent or not? Tough to say. If courtrooms are just it's hard for me to imagine a lot of justice takes place in courtrooms. I mean, sometimes it does, but maybe it's like 50-50. I don't know.
Yeah, I have some doubts on our justice system. Like, I mean, there are some pretty big abuses of justice that take place.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The goddamn Innocence Project in America is a brilliant example of that.
Oh, I know, totally.
What's the Innocence Project? What's that?
So they look at people who are essentially on death row or condemned for crimes that are cold cases, and they dig into them and they start going, okay, let's see how much of this stands up to modern scrutiny. And the amount of people they exonerate.
They find if DNA can exonerate them, they go after those cases because DNA is like proof. Right?
Yeah. That's hard to fuck with. That's a pretty solid one. So yeah, they exonerate all these people who otherwise would be locked away or dying, one or the other. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got I don't know how many people they've gotten off, but they've gotten off quite a few. So it just makes you think, okay. And can you imagine being incarcerated for something that you didn't do? Like being incarcerated is bad enough, but for something you didn't even do, that's just horror of horrors.
Yep. And they say it happens much more often than most people would think too.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to have like a omniscience and know exactly what it is. It's kind of like with the death penalty. Like I'm hit and miss. There are some people I think who should probably fucking die. Like they are so evil they should probably die. But at the same time, you've got to roll the dice because you know that there will be a certain % of innocent people you're now condemning to death.
Yeah. That's why if it did sort of exist, it'd have to be fucking for the most extreme cases.
Yeah,
and with hard evidence, definitely.
Oh yeah, you'd
like
have
incontrovertible evidence.
Yeah,
I had read somewhere that no nation has voted no population has voted unanimously to make the death penalty illegal. That it's always done by elites.
So say that again. Say that again.
That no population has, like, no populace has voted in a popular election to make the death penalty illegal. That the only way the death penalty is illegal is if Congress or elites basically make the death, because the death penalty is illegal in a lot of different nations.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
in the
I
majority,
think it might be illegal there. Yeah. But every time they put it on a ballot with, the rank and file, the normal populace, they're always in favor of the death penalty.
Right.
Everyone on this stream has said they're in favor of the death penalty, right? I'm in favor of the death penalty in certain cases.
Only in the most extreme, like
yeah, exactly,
child rapists and killers and shit like that sort of shit.
Totally. I mean, there's some people that deserve it, right? There's some evil fucks out there.
Yeah, well, it's just one of those issues that we're never really going to get a unanimous vote on one way or the other. And if we were to even approach doing anything like that, we'd pretty much all have to set all of our, moral preoccupations aside and actually dissect the issue for everything that it is. Most of the people that think about this, they're basically just injecting their own morality into it as to whether or not the person should deserve to die, and don't really think about other things about the impact on society, what it costs the taxpayers to house them and keep them alive, and so on and so forth. But
I think people are more in favor of it when you consider that, because they're like, why are we paying for this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Did I read somewhere that I'm sure I read somewhere a few months ago that there was a state thinking about bringing back the electric chair? Was that?
Oh my God!
Probably.
I don't.
It wouldn't surprise me. They're having huge trouble over here with lethal injection. A bunch of activists have gone after the companies that make the cocktails that they use for lethal injection. So now, evidently, the chemicals are tough to get. So.
Isn't it also that the chemical, like, I remember reading that the chemicals were mostly outsourced from not US-based soil.
That too.
Yeah,
and those
executing anymore.
Yeah, those countries don't execute. So they're like, this is kind of like stupid. Why are we even doing this? So they just stopped. And then there was like some of those real horror stories of executions where they'd just be like, how can we kill this person? I don't know. Let's just fucking put something in them and hope they die. And people just choking to death on the fucking table for like 20 minutes.
Even still, I would hope that their knee-jerk reaction wouldn't be to return to the fucking electric chair. I mean, have you heard any of the horror stories attached to that? People's heads catching fire and shit.
This was
going back to hanging.
This was on March 7th, 2016. Virginia lawmakers vote to bring back electric chair.
Jeez. Oh my God.
Hang on a sec. And then February 10th, 2017, Mississippi may become fourth state to revamp execution method. What? So Mississippi lawmakers want to bring back the firing squad, electric chair, and gas chambers as execution methods.
The firing squad I can kind of understand, but gas chambers, let's not go down Nazi paths, and let's not go down electric chair. Like, just shoot them in the head.
What about the old draw and quarter? Well, I wouldn't mind a bit of draw and quarter. Bit of theatrics to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Put them in a coliseum.
What about let's go to ISIS. Let's chuck them in a cage and put just slowly dip it into a swimming pool or something. And
that's one thing I will say about ISIS. They are creative in how they kill people. Like they really put a lot of thought into it. They put a lot of thought into it. They're like, how can we wrap people in a configuration that when they explode, they'll make a picture? Like these people put a lot of thought into how they kill people.
Well, I mean, when the goal is not to be humane, but to send a message, of course they're going to be fucking creative. I mean, let's face it, the whole reason they would put black bags over people's heads before they put them through the electric chair had nothing to do with them. It had everything to do with people in the stands not having to see their eyes bugging out of their fucking heads so they could convince themselves that it was humane,
Yeah, that's fucked. That would happen, wouldn't
it? Not only would it did many times.
Fucking ISIS though. I wonder how long it'll take before they finally fuck off. Please fuck off. ISIS.
They just got pushed out of Mosul. That was good.
Yeah, but ISIS is an idea. Like you can fight it, but you can't have to kill literally everyone to kill the idea. Or change their
that's
mind.
the problem.
Yeah.
What about when there was one where they put like 4 cunts in a car and they just shot it with an RPG. That was a good one.
Well, that's a pretty quick way to go as compared to a lot of their other ways.
Hey,
it's
man,
probably one of the better ways.
If I gotta go, that's how I want to go.
Yeah,
make it worthy of a story.
Yeah. It's got a bit of superhero, sort of a bit of action hero to it.
What about that car? Did you guys? Okay, this is funny. So a guy had this like electrical company or whatever, and he had this truck, and he sold his truck, and it had the logo on it. And that truck went through dealer and dealer and dealer and dealer until it eventually ended up in Syria. And ISIS bolted a 50 caliber to the damn thing and used as a technical, and it still got his details on it.
And it was just a fucking little guy. It was like Bob's Plumbing.
Yeah, totally.
How the hell did I not hear about that? That's
is this car blowing people away, and it's just like, call Bob's Plumbing with a fucking.
Yeah, he's like,
that's
guys,
what it really.
Would you mind just scraping the decals off?
Yeah, that really makes you question the extremes of, is all publicity really good publicity? I mean,
people calling him up like, you ISIS sympathizer, you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think they did give him a hard time like that.
Oh yeah, no, they certainly did.
Oh, of course they did.
Absolutely.
They thought he sold his truck to ISIS, like he's like on Craigslist or something. Like, come on.
Oh god.
Well, let me just ship it on over to
fucking
you.
House is these 2 cunts in their
exactly.
AKs
Like,
going, we give you 4,000.
This has made me imagine a world where ISIS has corporate sponsorship. Yeah. Like, can you imagine like the McDonald's logo on any given vehicle that they decide to attach a 50 cal to? Like,
Oh my god!
This execution was brought to you by fucking Burger King.
I'm just reading Young Turks' clickbait headlines. I love these, man. They're great. So you mean
all of their headlines?
Yeah, all of their headlines. You've got breaking: North Korea planning Guam attack, and just before that, monster Trump just doubles down on genocidal nuclear war. Like, I mean, it's not
every
an
other word is
thing.
capitalized, probably.
Yeah. It's not necessarily incorrect, but like, mate, these titles.
What website's that?
No, it's Young Turks, dude.
Yeah.
It's Young Turks.
Hilarious.
Fox News fighting Trump's battle against McConnell something or other. Oh no, it's just McConnell. Right, okay.
So what's going on with North Korea anyway? You guys gonna fucking go in, or what's happening?
Mate, they're not gonna. They're saber rattling. I hope to Christ they don't do anything. Although I'm not necessarily afraid.
Me too, but fuck, if you're gonna do it, just fucking do it.
Like, all of their rockets seem to break up while they're fucking flying. So like, I'm not necessarily that worried.
Yeah. Hey, Rez, how you going?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, new person.
Everyone, this is Rez. Rez. I think Rez is still a feminist, but she's sort of on the
yeah, I was gonna say
on the outskirts. I'm working on it.
Who let the SJW in? Come on, man. Jesus Christ!
I'm an ex-SJW
Give us a heads up.
non-extremist feminist.
Yeah.
Well, this is interesting. I mean,
Rez is cool. Rez is cool. Rez is one of the.
Be prepared for triggered.
Rez is that one that said to all the SJWs in that stream, "No, fuck you, cunts. Bearing's funny. Fuck off."
Yeah, totally. Nice.
Was that
all I need to hear?
Was that one with Sofane or?
No.
You did a stream with her that I actually listened to. It was really good. You guys talked about the dilemma of bearing, wielding.
The dilemma of bearing. Oh my god.
Well, no. The conversation, just to put it in context, was if Bering made a plea with his fans not to bother anyone. You know,
it wouldn't do shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think on the contrary, it would cause
exactly.
Go
ahead, Barry. Sorry.
And do it.
Yeah, exactly. You can't tell people what to do. They want to do it even more. Come on.
If anything, it would lose you subscribers, and they would double down their efforts. Like, I don't think they don't understand that you don't have like some kind of control console plugged into all your fans' heads, and you're fucking controlling their actions. Like, it's unbelievable.
Boy, it would be easier if it was that way.
Yeah.
It would backfire to an extreme. And then he'd get shit for that.
Yeah, you don't
Rez,
antagonize
How dare
the
you tell
internet.
your fans not to be nice?
Yeah. Hey, Rez, that last live stream you did with that redhead was interesting. He didn't like me.
What happened?
No.
What was it?
Oh, yeah. What's this?
Rez did a live stream with an SJ. He's a full on SJW. You sucked up his ass. Oh no, you want an SJ? He fucking is. Come on.
Well, and I guess I have a little bit of a higher bar that you have to reach in order to call it an SJW in my eyes. Because even though his opinions are definitely very SJW, his actions aren't. So I give him a pass in that regard.
Yeah, but he's sort of going, oh, but you know, the Bearing, he's racist all the time. He says racist jokes.
What?
Racist. And
I have yet to hear a single fucking one.
What?
yeah.
That's what I said too. Can somebody please point me to a racist joke that he said? Because I can't find it. Of course, now I'm in a shitstorm because I've been. I laugh at Ariel Scarcella. Do you know who she is?
No, unfortunately, I don't.
I think I've heard the name like a couple times, but
She's an LGBT YouTuber, and she also has the same. Well, she has some trans issues because people think she's a big transphobe. And some of the jokes that she's made, like she said a joke one time about how she smelled rice. Oh no, that was just the Asian guy sitting down next to her. And I thought that was funny, and that made me laugh. But so now me and Ariel are both homophobes.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, you fucked up.
Racist,
You fucked up in
homophobic,
this one.
transphobic pieces of shit because I laugh at jokes. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So are they still dogpile? Are they still like ganging up on you?
Oh yeah, they hate me. They hate me. They hate me worse than you. In fact, somebody just invited me
You're a
and
traitor
Tim.
now.
Oh, I know,
like
right?
You're sleeping with the enemy here. You're a total traitor.
Exactly. But here's the thing. I am worse than the enemy because Tim was just invited onto a stream. Somebody just invited Tim and me on a stream, and Tim was like, "Nope, can't do it." And I'm like, "How interesting. He can go on a stream with Bearing, but he can't go on a stream with me because I went on a stream with Bearing."
So he's like, no, she's gonna be on. I'm not going on.
He said, "We don't get along." That's what he said. We don't get along.
if there's one thing I've learned is that they don't need to know your actual opinion to to make these judgments about you. All they need to do is make assumptions about it. I've been called a white supremacist on my channel so many times already, and I'm not even fucking white. Sons of, I swear. I mean, especially seriously, you should go to the. Well, you know what? No, probably not even anymore. But yeah, that video. I did one video on Cynthia G with Reckless Trucker, and oh my god, the shitstorm of people coming in calling me a white supremacist.
Wow, what is this guilt by association bullshit? What is this, the 1800s? Jesus.
Oh, it's 2017, eh?
It's
2017 is
modern
worse than
year.
1800s.
Yeah, 2017 is the 1800s part 2.
Yeah.
Basically
Well, it's
what it
funny
is.
because when I first came into this community, I was like, nah, SJWs aren't that bad. What are y'all talking about? And then I got turned on and I'm like, holy fuck, they're terrible.
Oh yeah, you don't know how bad the storm is until you've actually weathered the fucking storm.
Exactly. That's exactly true, man. It's really right. Because you don't know how real doggone nasty it could be. I mean, I have never been treated like shit by anybody on the anti side, but the shit that the people on the SJW side are still saying to me to this day is mind boggling.
Oh, yeah.
You're a capture for us.
No,
We don't treat you like shit.
You get people like I noticed Wooly says the exact opposite now. She'll go, oh, when I was on the anti side, I got treated like absolute shit, and everyone's so nice on this side.
That's so weird. She's one chick I just don't understand. How do you go from being an anti-2 to be in SJW? Do you have like a glutton for punishment or something?
Yeah.
She must have like a boredom kink or something.
She lives in the age of video games. There are less destructive ways to pacify boredom, for fuck's sake.
You would think. A vibrator would do you better than that. Come on.
I thought you switched for drama
Who are these
reasons.
motherfuckers threeing in my chat? What are these threes about, cunts?
Threes? Dude, yeah, you got threes.
Ranting
Oh,
Monkey's
yeah.
in there too.
Oh, press 1 for anti-supremacy.
Ranting Monkey. Is this you, Ranting Monkey? I can smell Ranting Monkey.
He's in there. He's asking about the tongue buttering turtle caves again. I don't know what that
we need to decode that particular message.
Google that. Somebody brave Google that.
Come on, or at least restructure your sentence, man. Come on.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll Google it.
Now they're going sevens. They're just trying to throw you off, dude.
I think they
Why
are.
did Wooly change sides? What happened there? Like, why did she?
Because
from what I understand, it's all Bering's fault, right? Wasn't it all your fault?
Yeah.
I would honestly love to sit down and talk to her about that, because like the changing of minds is something I'm obviously interested in. I would love to know, really. Like, I have seen some of her older sort of tweets where she's just like, oh, she's highlighting them like, I'm an evil person back then and now I'm better. So,
I think she just did. I think she tried to move up the status hierarchy on this side and just failed. So she was like, I'm out of here.
I just want to know what her negativity was.
With Sargon for like a year before she did it. So I think Sargon sort of wore her out a bit, and then she's like, "No, fuck this, I hate all of you."
She was fighting.
See, I thought it had something to do with you, Bering. I didn't never really know, but I thought it had something to do with the fight with you.
I think that was the final straw, but I think Sargon sort of softened her up.
What did Sargon?
Between you and Sargon, man, y'all are gonna be the ruin of YouTube.
Absolutely evil.
Yeah, I don't think I ever even really heard all of the details of what happened between you and Wooly. I mean, I thought I remembered something about somebody blaming you for like sending your fans after her to make like personal threats or something. Like what
she was giving me shit for ages, and it got to a point where. And it was all over the copyright thing. She just wouldn't let up, sort of thing. And I'm like, we're meant to be friends, Would you fuck off? And so I've made this video about her, just like having a fair crack at her. And I brought up a bit of a skeleton in her closet that she never really resolved. Where she never. There was some fundraising money for a men's rights activist.
Yes.
That was never accounted for, and
damn.
Yeah, and so when I mentioned that, that's when she sort of deleted the channel, deleted the fucking Twitter, and it was just gone. And
so basically, she was just doing anything she could to get the spotlight off of her.
Yeah, exactly. And to this,
how dare you tell the truth about me, Bering?
If I bring it up, she just run for the hills. Like she honestly does. She just runs. It's quite funny.
Never lie to the internet.
She was definitely one of the ones at the beginning who was trying to warn me, listen, you don't know Bering. You think that you can trust him, but you don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I've got
a
clip there, right? I've got a clip there of this time. It was probably a year before, like she sort of turned, where some people were threatening her kids, right? It's just so ironic. And I went in and sort of, like had words with them and got the truth out of them and told them to fuck off and all that. And I was a hero. There's this, I've got audio of her and her husband saying, "Oh, we love you, Bering. You're so cool, Bering. Oh, I love you. We owe you, Bering. Oh, I love." And it's so funny. Like she grabs the exact same thing and sort of fucking fabricates it against me. Like, I don't believe those kids were threatened. It's absolutely ridiculous. Because I offered. I said, look, send me a copy of the actual threat. Yeah, and if you've reported it to the police, send me a copy of the police report, and I'll do my utmost to make this guy accountable. If it's come from my audience, that's not on. Right. And nothing. I don't see why.
I didn't know that part.
I don't see why you would turn that away.
Yeah, that's pretty much the golden rule at this point. Anytime you hear any SJW, especially the major SJW channels, talking shit about one of the other channels, one of the anti-channels, just assume that they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. I mean, I learned that early. Like, the second video I ever made was in response to Michael Rowland's fuck buddy, Tim, deciding to talk shit about me, saying that I was saying people who were born transgender were hideous freaks and, that we should be exterminating them.
That's right, yeah.
So I had to tell him about this friend that I've had since I was about 5 years old who is mired with so many disabilities that it's ridiculous. And, basically I had to relay the story about him moving to another state and it breaking my heart and all of this. And yeah, any amount of respect that I would have ever had for, I'm not going to say that I had any respect for Tim in the first place, but I was reserving my opinion until I could see him, do something retarded. And right there, he set my standard for, what kind of a person he is and whether or not I'm ever going to have any interaction with him. And I'm not interested.
Tim is the one that he broke my heart the most. Well, I mean, he disappointed me the most because when I was involved in that SJW group, I used to see him get, just pounded he went on a stream with like Kraut and some folks. And everybody
Jeff,
just
and Jeff from that he played Quiplash.
And everybody gave him so much shit for that. I mean, they treated him like dog shit for that. So that he even had to go on and like make an I'm sorry video for doing it. So then when he ended up doing the same thing to me, I was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, that's right. They're like, you went on a stream and they played Quiplash and someone in the chat said nigger.
and Fisty Winters. That was the biggest thing because he didn't defend Christy every time somebody in the chat said Fisty Winters. Yeah. He got in so much trouble for that. And I'm like, was he really supposed to? And so I'm like one of the only people in the group who was like, dude, Tim, it was no big deal. You're a good guy, right? Yeah. But no, he ended up going making a video. I'm so sorry. I didn't say Fisty Winters is bad or whatever.
Oh, fuck's sake. He had no reason to apologize. He had fun. Like that's the shitty thing. Like there's no reason to apologize.
That's exactly right. I don't think he should have apologized for. He didn't do anything wrong. Jesus.
Exactly.
And by the way, I applaud you for calling her Fisty, by the way.
Well, her and I don't have any love lost. That's for damn sure.
Every time I hear that spoken, it's so good that it's not going away. I
always thought it was funny. Like even when I was her friend, I always thought it was. I don't think why it's that big of a deal. It wasn't cunty splinters or anything.
What happened with her? You guys split ways? You were friends with her?
She hates me. Yes, I was friends with her and Tim and the whole lot of them. I was in a private Facebook group with them.
Rez was in the cabal, man. Rez was in the fucking cabal. Yeah. And then she dared to say, I sort of laughed at one of Bearing's videos.
So was that the beginning of the end there?
Fuck you, get out, we don't like you anymore.
No, it wasn't that. They forgave me for thinking Bearing was funny. They eventually forgave me for that, but then because I then had Bearing on a stream on my channel, that was it. And you know what's really funny too about the Christy thing is she when she was on the stream and I was like, yeah, Bearing is funny. She was like, oh yeah, it's no big deal for you to find Bearing funny. You know, she's trying to be nice and show that SJWs can get along or whatever. And then like one of her last things she ever said to me is, well, Rez, you wouldn't understand a joke that didn't have the C word in it. And I was like, fuck you, C word.
The C word. What is she, fucking 5 years old?
Well, I just thought it was like she showed her true face in that moment. I was like, there it is.
Didn't you even go to the length of clearing it with? Didn't you say I'm going to have Bearing on a stream?
I got permission the first time I wanted to talk to you. I got permission. Yeah, no. I was so afraid of getting in trouble with them. I was constantly saying I'm sorry for things like I'm sorry for this joke, I'm sorry for this, and I was constantly getting permission. And I got permission for everything I did with Bearing, except that last stream, which I thought would be okay because I had gotten permission to talk to him all the other times. Anyways.
But that was the only time we spoke publicly, wasn't it? I mean,
that was the only time we spoke publicly. But I had gotten permission to contact you, and then I got permission to have that. Well, it sounds stupid now. I realize now how fucking ridiculous and what a gay piece of shit I was.
Did they give you permission in writing?
Why didn't you just do it? Like if it was
well, first of all, I didn't know you, Bearing, so I thought he may very well record it on his end and put it on there because they were telling me.
I see.
Well, because what they were telling me is that what you do is that you cut people's things up and make it sound like they're saying things they don't say.
Definitely.
So I didn't know you. So I'm like, well, maybe he's going to do that. May as well come clean right off the bat that I want to talk to him because maybe they're right about him. Well, turns out they weren't, but you know.
Fucking hell. That paints a picture. Fucking hell.
That's why when I first talked to you, I was like, listen, I'm going to record this on my end. I'm just letting you know so that we have some proof if you try and lie.
Yeah, and then they turn around and they do that exact same thing to him. Where who was it? Michael Rowlands and I think Tim, wasn't it? Where they basically chopped up the video, tried to make it sound like you were defending rape or something. Fucking assholes.
Oh, that's
another thing I don't get. Can you explain to me why they say you're a rape apologist? I've never been able to see anything about that.
This is fun.
Because there was a video, there was a TEDx talk where this woman came out on stage basically, and she was promoting this app where it was like a beta version of this app that she was proposing where college kids in America, right, if they got sexually assaulted but they were too timid or they were too sort of weren't quite ready to go to the police, they could report their assaulter in this app, right? And then what it would do is it would record dogs. It would record these different instances of sexual assault against this person's name, right? And once it got to 3 people, it would automatically be sent to the cops. Now, my problem with it was she came out with this story that was basically, look, the short version was, Sally goes to a party, she gets really pissed, she sees this guy that she likes, and she goes home with him, and the next morning she wakes up and she realizes that they had sex. She was raped. That's obviously rape.
Yeah,
right.
And see, that's every time they bitch about privilege or the fact that white males are the ones that have power in society. I mean, it flies right over their heads every time they do something like this. It's basically an app that's centered around the concept of defamation of character and slander, shit that should be illegal, but fuck it, it's for the feminism. Think of the women's.
My argument was, look, there's going by the story that this woman has come out on stage and told. That's just not rape. That's not rape. Like, if they're the only details that we have, she went home with some guy, she was pissed, she wakes up in the morning, she realizes they had sex, and there was something else.
Yes, there was. There was one very key thing.
She remembers wanting it to. Was it? She remembers wanting it to stop. Was that it?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah, and
did she say she wanted it to stop?
No,
right.
No, because she remembers thinking she wanted it to stop.
But it's not just that. I remember the streams. I remember the streams. They were also going on and on and on about the nature of how drunk she was. So the blackout versus passing out, and you were like, blackout's not passing out. Like, there's a difference. She wasn't passed out. She's still like aware. She's just not remembering things at this point.
Yeah,
like,
but blackout drunk means you don't remember a portion of the night. It doesn't mean you're
but the other people don't know that you're blacked out, so they don't know that you're not capable of giving consent.
Exactly.
One time I got so
and the other thing is you could be.
For 3 days.
You go.
I was just going to say there was one time when I was younger, I got so fucking drunk on tequila, I lost the entire night, but people were telling me for the next 3 months the shit that I did that night.
I'll send you a copy of the video, Rez. It's quite interesting, but there was some debates surrounding that where they, because I would not accept that he was a rapist. He was a rapist. Just dead set he was a rapist. I'm all of a sudden a rape apologist.
Man,
I mean, if you're blackout drunk and you remember a certain part of that night, you wanting it to stop, not even you have the context surrounding that. For all you know, you were laying on like a hairbrush or something and you wanted that part to stop.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I ended up getting. That's how I met Nick McLean. He's a lawyer from the US. He's actually he's an ex state prosecutor. He used to prosecute cases of rape and sexual assault. I actually got him on a live stream and explained the whole thing to him, showed him the video, and he said, "Yeah, no, you're dead right. Going off what we have here, there's no way that's not rape. It's just not."
Barry, you should put me in touch with that guy. There are a few things I'd like to pick his brain about, honestly.
Yeah, sure.
How do I get away with rape? No, just kidding.
Man,
I'm kidding.
I expect that concept to be more common in the next days here in Australia, though. Considering
you wear a clown mask and you run when you're done.
Oh yeah, that report. Yeah, that's a shocker, isn't it?
I could have done a full hour. I'm seriously considering doing a follow-up video to it. Okay, so for everyone that hasn't watched my recent video, so the Australian Human Rights Commission put out a survey, and it's a very large survey. It's pretty reasonable sample size, 30,000 different respondents. But the way they collect the information, and particularly the way they ask questions and a whole number of other things, basically they took what essentially is an incredibly infrequent event and escalated it to 51% of all students are affected by sexual harassment or assault. And just leave it at that.
The problem that I had with it was when it was reported in the media, most of the headlines were "sexual assault report is damning."
Yes,
and then the subtitle would be harassment. So it gives you the impression that 51% of college students are being sexually assaulted, and it's what, 6%?
And the funny thing is, like, I called them and I'm like, hey guys, do you have like an SPSS document or at least an Excel something? Can I have your raw data? Because I've got a few analyses I'd like to run on this. They're like, nah, go away, go away.
Of course,
like, really, that's fucking surprising, isn't it? The other thing is, Bering, have you actually looked at the document? You probably haven't, but like, I'm just.
I haven't looked at the document, but what I have looked at is the Human Rights Commission's definition of sexual harassment, like the leering and uncomfortable staring.
Yes.
So if a bloke stares at a woman or makes suggestive or rude jokes at a woman, that's sexual harassment, and they're lumping that in with sexual. They're lumping that in with rape.
Did you actually watch my video, Barry? Out of question. Yeah. So out of the questions they have, staring was obviously the highest fucking category across the board of harassment. Of course, then jokes after that. But the things that really matter, like the physical contact and the invasion of privacy and the invasion of personal space, the things that actually, frankly, really do matter, they're 7.53% of the sample. They're not a significant majority at all. They're not even close. And
that's not to say that that's not an issue.
No, of course not. But it's not 51%.
But it skews, it massively skews the reality, and so we can't take action based on reality when we're.
Well, and if you include like staring at somebody, well, then I'm a rapist every fucking day of the week.
That makes me wonder.
People that live around me.
And not only that, not only did they include, they framed it as this notion of like, I didn't include this in the video because I actually cut so much crap out of this. There's so much to talk about. They also, if you take a look at where they're counting these things into their sample as if they're actually worthwhile, they talk about in their headlines everything being an on-campus event, but there's so many things there that have nothing to do with being on campus. Basically, it's just, are you a vaguely labeled uni student? You've been affected by this. Yeah, okay, cool. Right. That's really it.
So if some bloke stares at you on the train, it's counted.
Yeah, if you're a uni student.
Doesn't that just make you wonder how many innocent men there are out there that have lazy eyes that are, that are getting fucked over and being fingered for rape?
Your Honor, it's my eyes.
Also, the recommendations for change these people put out there. Holy Christ, dude! Oh,
I don't recall that. What was it all about?
Oh, dude, some of these they have an entire section on recommendation for change, and most of them are basically re-education camps.
Oh my god,
dude, it's fucking and it's always
not camps.
No, not camps, but re-education but particularly men.
Re-educate someone with a lazy eye.
What is really interesting about it is that how it's prefaced, because it's obviously an emotional statement. So what they go, look, this is absolutely dreadful, dreadful, dreadful. You have to do this right now. Do it. Don't question. Just do it. Yeah. Recommendations now. Like, oh man.
Yeah. Wow. Besides, man, they're not going to be called camps anyway, and they'll probably call them retreats.
Yes, workshops,
relearning workshops. Yeah, right. But they also had what was it? They had connections with the group The Hunting Ground. If you guys have ever heard that before, right. Dude, what the fuck? They had connections with a group called End Rape on Campus Now. So, like, really,
but it's okay everywhere else.
Yeah, the purpose of these
Hunting Ground was a documentary, an American documentary. Did you see Gary Awesome did a satire of it called The Grunting Hound?
Yeah. So, like, the whole thing is insane. I got stonewalled by the ABC, utterly fucking stonewalled. Because again, as a feminist, I disagree with your analysis. That's what they said to me. And the Sky News people were just like, "Oh, this is great, thanks. We've already done our things on this, but it's a week old, so we're not going to touch it." It's like, come on. Yeah. Come on.
That's another obvious reason why this whole decolonized science bullshit doesn't deserve to be taken seriously, because not only do they not understand the importance of empiricism, they also don't understand the importance of transparency.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, see, the Human Rights Commission should have given you their raw data. They're a public agency, for Christ's sake.
That's true. That seems crazy that they wouldn't.
I mean, it was one call.
What are you hiding?
I should probably call them back and see if I can do it again, but the video is done. Like, I mean, it was on the very day things had been put out, so it could have just simply been them going, "No, we don't really care at this point. We'll let go through it," because most of it was, "No, it's all in the documents, which it isn't. But yeah,
but surely you should be able to get a freedom of information order on that.
Oh, if I wanted to push it, I could chase legal reasons if I really wanted to push it.
I would ask you to record that phone call, but I know it would be such a shitstorm if you did.
Well, yeah, they people don't really like phone calls being recorded. So
no, they don't.
No, not at all.
I've worked my fair share of call centers. Trust me, I know.
Hey, just quickly, what do we got? James says the justice system is screwed. Look at what Hillary did with the emails. If you look into the laws, she committed treason, and looking into the penalty for it is actually hanging. Is that true? Hanging?
I don't think America has hanging anymore.
I don't think we hang people anymore now.
Actually, hang on, slow down.
Okay.
The formal penalty for cattle rustling in Texas is hanging. If a farmer catches you just stealing a fucking cow in Texas, they can hang you. No,
oh, jeez. I'm from that state. That's embarrassing.
Right-wing BDSM guy says someone mentioned death by SNU. SNU, fuck yes. What's SNU?
I have no idea.
That's when we were talking about the ISIS thing. I don't know if it's like...
Yeah, how far back in the chat are you?
This is a fair way back. Right-wing BDSM guy also says Rez feminism is pure ass cancer. That was to you, Rez.
Is that aimed at Rez?
And James says, what are the essentials to getting my own channel going? Sorry if this throws the conversation off. We just got to start one and start making videos, man.
Yeah,
pretty much. That's a pretty essential point.
Don't think about it as a big part of it.
Yeah.
And also make sure you're putting all your videos on VidMe too, because YouTube is doing all kinds of funky shit.
Yeah, and everybody has their reasons, man. As soon as Michael Rowland said that he was an appreciator of language, and then proceeded to prove that he doesn't understand how it works, that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I'm like, okay, now you're fucking with the things I love. Okay, Michael, it's time to destroy you now.
That was the first video you did, wasn't it? Was that the first one you did?
Yeah, that was my very first one ever, where I had to explain to him how words work. Yeah.
If you're an SJW, though, evidently you have to get permission from Christy Winters before you start your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So we should mention that ahead of time.
Doesn't mean very much of anything.
It really depends upon what side you're on.
Right. Well, very much so. You can be on the free speech side, or you can be on something else.
Yeah, well, that's what I found out. If you're on the side where you have to ask permission, then you're on the wrong side.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly it.
Yeah, exactly right. Hey guys, I better wrap it up. Sugar Tits just got home with some lunch, and she'll be death staring me from out the other side of that door if I don't hurry the fuck up. Yeah. So
right on.
That's technically a rape charge, isn't it? From what we hear.
It is.
She's female.
Don't let her give you the gaze.
Double standard doesn't work.
I'm telling you, man, if you ever end up with a lazy eye, start wearing dark sunglasses, because people are going to start accusing you. I swear to God, man, I'm not looking at you. I'm looking 2 feet to your left.
Please don't report me to the app.
Thanks for having us on, Barry.
Yeah, no worries. No, it was good to have you. It was a great chat. Thanks for coming on, Rez and FriendEd, and everyone. That was cool. Great.
Yeah, have a good night.
Absolutely.
All right,
Take care, everyone.
All right, cheers.
Bye.
Bye.